Hello everyone, my name is Mr.Minh Đức and I am currently a teacher at IELTS Fighter. One thing I've noticed during my time teaching is that in every single one of my class, there's always one or more students who ask me, Teacher, how do I improve my English speaking? Or how do I improve my fluency? How do I not just freeze up when I have to speak in front of a foreigner? In my experience, I was very blessed and lucky because I got a chance to study abroad and work for 8 years. But there are things that you can do to improve your fluency or to speak more naturally just by staying in Vietnam, because you can mimic the whole study abroad experience right here in your home country. Okay, so how do you improve your speaking? How do you speak more naturally in front of a foreign person? One of the most important thing that you have to do is practice thinking in English. So, how do you start thinking in English, right? That's what I will show you in this video. So, let's see, okay? So, instead of thinking in Vietnamese and then translating it to English and then speak to the examiner in the IELTS speaking portion, if you can somehow start with thinking in English, then it will be much better for your fluency. Because fluency essentially is just the speed at which you can move your thoughts in your head to become words out of your mouth, right? So if you start with thinking in Vietnamese, you will have one step to think in Vietnamese and then translate to English and then make words in English, right? That's 3 steps. But if you can somehow start with thinking in English, so think in English and then speak in English, then that's only 2 steps, right? I'm not a mathematician, but I know that 2 is less than 3, right? So improved fluency is a huge benefit of studying abroad for international students. Because if you are put in an environment where English speaking is your only option in a variety of social contexts, such as when you're just chilling with your homies or when you have to speak in a classroom setting, then slowly but surely your thoughts will slowly transition from Vietnamese to English in a very natural way. But if you don't get the chance to study abroad, it will be slightly harder to practice thinking in English, but it's definitely not impossible, okay? So, in my opinion, we all have that tiny voice in our head, right? That we constantly talk with, the voice in our head, which is called our inner thoughts, okay? I think the best way, the most natural way to improve your speaking, your fluency, is that you should learn to practice to translate each inner thought in your head into English. From my perspective, one really cool thing about practice thinking in English is that you are translating very real, very practical expression of yourself. You are basically translating the beauty of your mind. What makes you special? What makes you, right? Instead of translating some academic text that doesn't really have any real life application. In my opinion, the mark of mastering a language is that you are able to express yourself fully and correctly in the foreign language, and that you can understand what other people are saying to you. That's just it. That's the mark of someone who has mastered a language, right? So I think if you can somehow translate your thoughts continuously for, say, maybe 10 to 15 minutes without any stop, then that means you have improved your fluency in that day. If you can practice for 10 to 15 minutes in one day, or say if you practice for 5 minutes and then you encounter an expression, a thought in your head that you don't know how to express or explain, you can Google it. We are living in a very modern day and age where you can just within a click of a mouse, you can find out any information that you want on Google, right? So you can Google the expression that you're trying to say, and that's still a win, right? Because the next time, say if you have to communicate or speak with a foreigner, then you already know how to express this expression. So that's still a win in my book. Okay, so now I will show you a demonstration of narrating things around you in English. Okay, so let's get into the office. So I think as you can see behind me, I saw a lady in green who is talking on her phone, right? Okay, I saw 3 people over here who are having lunch. Okay, let's see what else. There are a few people over here who are talking to each other and having lunch at the same time. And you can see all the way in the back there are still a few people who are hard at work during lunchtime. Okay, so that's it. It's very simple. You literally only have to describe what are happening around you. So you can do this anywhere and anytime. So that's why it's very cool to practice this activity. Okay, I have just shown you 2 tips, 2 activities that you can do to practice thinking in English right in the comfort of your home. But there's one thing I want to tell all of you guys too, that no matter how good the tip is, no matter how good or passionate the teacher is, if you don't learn how to apply yourself or to be self-disciplined, then you will get nowhere. So I want you to think for yourself that how many minutes do you think is enough to improve your English speaking every day? I think 30 minutes is a good choice, okay? So I want you to practice either one activity or both activities that I show you today for at least 30 minutes a day to improve your English speaking, to speak more naturally in the future, okay? That was just the first tip. There will be a few other tips that I will show you to mimic the whole studying abroad experience for Vietnamese students in the next few videos. So I hope that I will see all of you guys in the next few videos, okay? See ya and see you next time.